Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video I've got a few propagations that are now ready to be potted up into soil. So I thought it would be fun to take you guys along with me as I went through the process and just have a bit of a chat. If you guys have got any potting up that you need to do or any plant chores, feel free to grab those and do it along with me. But before we get into the video, if you're new here, hi, my name's Amy and this is my jungle. Please don't forget to give the video a like if you do enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more planty content. Now let's get into the video. So the plants that I do have in front of me are my Monstera Stanleyana. This one has been propagating in water for quite a few months now. So yeah, it really does need potting up. I've just been putting it off and putting it off, but also I did want to order some of the plastic back moss poles so this can go straight onto it. I'm probably going to leave this one till last to pot up. I've then got a small Monstera Adansonii cutting. This one I took from my mother plant, which I think in my last video I completely chopped up. This cutting was again taken a few months ago, has been rooting quite well in water since, and I decided with this one I'm going to put it up separately so that I can have one trailing in this room just up here. I've then got a Philodendron Glorious, which is just opening out a new leaf. This one again has been propagating in water since end of March, beginning of April. And finally is my Philodendron Splendid. This one has been propagating in moss. Got it at the same time as the Glorious, and it has put out a slightly damaged but very cute new leaf here. All of these are going to be potted up into soil. The only one I'm likely to give a moss pole to, like I said, is the Stanleyana, just because it has got quite a lot of roots in there, so I feel it's going to need to go up a pot size anyway. The rest will all be going into these small 6-inch nursery pots, just so they can again acclimatise being into soil, and once I do start to size them up I'll look to add moss poles for those as well. Each of them will be being potted into the Soil Ninja Monstera and Philodendron mix. So I'm just going to go grab that and then we'll get started. I'm going to make a start with the Monstera Adansonii. Start by putting a base layer in and then bring these guys out. Have a look at untangle some of these roots. Take that. I always find potting up plants very therapeutic. That is Adansonii done. I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be the Philodendron Glorious, just because I've not got to worry about getting moss off of this one. Again, I'm just going to add a base layer of the mix in here. And the plant label for this one. There's the Philodendron glorious. That's a nice new leaf that it's just put out for me. Now I'm going to do the Splendid, but I have got to get the moss off of that one first. Just giving this a bit of a squeeze to try and loosen the moss. So I have let the moss dry out a bit because I've heard that it's apparently easier to remove it from the roots as opposed to when it's wet and sticky. So I'm just being quite gentle here so as not to damage any of the roots within here. When you guys propagate in moss, do you find it easier to remove it when the moss is dry or when it's wet? This is my first time moving a propagation from moss into soil, so any tips would be greatly appreciated. If you don't mind leaving them down below. As I'm by no means an expert on what I'm doing. I am kind of just winging it, so we will see how it goes. I'm just trying to get off as much of the moss as I can because the moss retains quite a bit of water, so I don't want there to be too much of it in the soil. I don't think I'm going to be able to get much more off if I'm honest, but we shall see. So I feel like I've got as much moss off the roots as I'm going to be able to now prop this one up. Actually a lot more roots than I was expecting. What's your guys' favourite methods of propagating? Do you prefer moss, water, semi-hydro? This Splendid cutting was sent to me, and it's the first time I've ever successfully managed to propagate in moss. The seller advised to keep it in moss until it had sent out a new growth point. So I was checking this like crazy because normally when I've tried to propagate in moss, things have just rotted. So I was very, very pleased to see that this one did okay. I just hope it copes okay with the transition. done. For the Stanleyana, I'm just thinking I could probably try out one of these moss poles and see how big it is. That will determine what I'm going to do. So, let's check that this will actually fit in the pot that I want to use. So, currently have a pot big enough to pop the moss pole in as well. So I'm going to pop this one up in soil, and then because I have a few others that I need to switch over in terms of putting them onto these D-shaped moss poles. So I will do that in another video, but for today, because I really do want to move it out of water, I am going to look to just pop this one up in soil as I have done the rest of them. All over the floor. Well done. So the main one, this is just actually one plant that has got hella roots on it. And this one that's putting out new growth, and its original leaf is on its way out. I think I might I'll put you in there as well. I'm just going to leave. Do have some smaller bits of this. Let me just grab them. whether or not to add these in with it as well. So again, these are quite well rooted. Just to make it really full when I do eventually get it climbing. And there is that one. So the only thing that's left to do with these guys is to give them a water through and then pop them back in their spots. I don't want to change too much about their environment straight off the bat because they have gone from being propagated in either water or moss to soil. So I want to give them a chance to acclimatise before I do look at changing anything else with regards to their environment. But that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give the video a like and hit that notification bell as well as subscribe to my channel for more planting content. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye.